So one thing that always comes up when we talk about multisyllabic words and how kids should be looking for the part that they know or trying to recognize a syllable type and sound it out using the syllable type, one of the questions that always comes up is, should we teach roots? And people ask me this question a surprising number of times. And I'm always wondering, like, is that a trick question? Like, how could you not teach roots? If we're surrounded by words, we're surrounded by roots, and we teach them. I think the real question behind the question is, should we teach roots, is how, and how much, and how many, and which ones? And that is a question that falls in line with a lot of answers we have for vocabulary in terms of teaching the ones that are high frequency and high impact, the ones that kids are going to see over and over and need to use in their writing. And I think one interesting way to think about doing this is to pick sort of words that have parts that we see recombining a bunch of times and just analyzing them. So if we look at the word composer, it has parts that you might recognize from lots of places: com or comp, poser, even just at the end as a adjective marker. Something that describes a person. So if we add to the end of lots of other words, we make it somebody who does that thing. Same thing with y at the end of discovery. It makes it a noun. This is, so what other words can I add? I had discover, now I have discovery. It was a verb, now it's a noun. What other words can I do that with? If we point out patterns in known words, we can start to extend those patterns to words that kids don't know. So you don't have to do a formal root study where we teach a certain number of roots every week, or we teach a certain number of roots in grade 3 or whatever it is, as long as we are paying attention to the roots that are in the words that we know. So roots, unlike spelling patterns, don't come in any particular developmental sequence, the same way that vocabulary doesn't come in any particular developmental sequence. When those words are relevant, they are appropriate. When we need to use them, we need to learn them. And so as they come up, even if they're not super complicated, pick known words that kids do know how to decode and write, and analyze them for their parts so that kids start to notice parts that they might see in longer words. Like if they can read composer, they can also probably read comprehension. And if they understand the ER at the end makes it a person who does something, then they can take write and make it writer.